Now, there are fears of a possible third wave of COVID in India fueled by the highly infectious Omicron variant. At the same time, there are reports from other countries on how Omicron is not as severe as the Delta strain and that hospitalizations are drastically lower. To talk more about this, we're joined by Dr. Subhash Salunke, advisor to the Maharashtra government on COVID, Dr. Suranjit Chatterjee, member National Task Force for COVID, and Dr. R. Ebenezer, head Critical Care Services, Apollo Speciality Hospitals, Vanagram. Thank you so much, doctors, for joining us on the program. And first to you, Dr. Subhash, what is your view of, the fact that on one hand, yes, we are anticipating there's going to be a surge in cases due to Omicron, but at the same time, do we get any sort of reassurance from the reports coming in from South Africa, from, UK about lower hospitalizations and the reduced severity of Omicron?
Well, thank you very much for an opportunity, but let me tell you a couple of things which are absolutely fact and science based. Number one, that at this juncture, the information that is available to us as far as this variant is concerned is basically flowing from either the South Africa, Europe, and from WHO. Right now in India, we have a very limited number of cases. Doesn't mean, because these are the ones which we have detected, that doesn't mean that that limited number is there in India. There are bound to be many more as far as this variant is concerned. And the fact remains that at this stage, we are finding that this appears to be highly infectious, but comparatively less virulent. But that shouldn't really give us unnecessarily false hopes, and we shouldn't really lower down our guard. Under the circumstances, the preparation that is being proposed by the government of India, by the state government, is going to be absolutely correct. We must use restrictions. We must, so that, people unnecessarily don't come together. At the same time, people will also have to cooperate. And we also ensure that the health system is geared up to full extent, so that even if there is going to be a potential of additionality as far as the critical cases are concerned, or as far as the ICU beds occupation is concerned, for that purpose, health system preparedness, hospital preparedness, and we need to ensure that the appropriate surveillance is heightened. Even though conducting sequencing as far as any viral investigation is concerned is not an easy task. It's also a complex process, requires appropriate sampling, requires appropriate laboratories, and that can't be done overnight in a large number. Whatever right now the capacities we have, 26, 27 laboratories, we can make use of it to the maximum possible extent. But most importantly, there is nothing new as far as prevention part is concerned about this variant. We know how to prevent it. We know what steps need to be taken. There is nothing new that we are looking at it. Please follow basic principles of COVID appropriate behavior, and we will be protected. If we don't do that, if we are going to be really, I'm sorry to use a little stronger term, foolish enough to enjoy so-called 25th Christmas and 31st year end and come together in large number, I think we will be unnecessarily creating problem ourselves. My request finally is, be selfish, protect yourself, protect your family, don't unnecessarily come together and give more opportunity for transmission of this variant. And I'm pretty certain we may get another variant after some time, because this virus is not going to go away. It is going to mutate. So why don't we follow the basic principle? At least protect yourselves. Be selfish. Right. Thank you. I may have
No,
been
that's
a little
perfectly
blunter,
fine. And it's important that people hear this constantly and not have any sort of false reassurances either, because like you said, we don't know how it will be in our country. And given the sheer numbers, the volume of people, it's going to be, once it does take grip, it's going to be very concerning. Dr. Suranjit Chatterjee, already the Delhi Chief Minister has talked about how they're making preparations and how they're ready to tackle 1 lakh cases a day, because once Omicron takes grip, given what we've seen in South Africa and what we're seeing in the UK, we're going to have a huge volume of cases here.
Absolutely true. That is what is worrying, because okay, we know that there's a mild case, hospitalizations are less, but if the number of people involved is huge, the denominator is huge. If the denominator is very large, then even if a fraction of those people become sick who are requiring hospitalizations or requiring oxygen, then the healthcare system again would be under stress. So that is what we need to be careful about. We know that quite a few people are vaccinated, quite a few people have hybrid immunity, that is, they have natural infection as well as immunization going on. So the number of maybe sick patients would be less, but we cannot put our guards down, because if the numbers are high because of high transmissibility, again, the healthcare system would be under strain.
Absolutely. Dr. Ebenezer, we have all concern being expressed by doctors. We've had a Allahabad High Court judge talk about, even postponing the UP elections, given that we're seeing such huge gatherings taking place. Your view right now, because a lot depends on people also and their behavior. Various states have already announced certain restrictions ahead of New Year's.
See, if we are going to prevent the Omicron wave, we have to be very, very careful. It has to start from the top. It has to be a top-down approach. The government at the top should also play a major role. In the previous Delta wave, religious gatherings, election rallies, festivals, all of that fueled the rise. So this time we know where we made the mistake last time. So here is a virus which is 70% more contagious than the Delta wave. So as my predecessors were telling, at the same time, you might face a lot of people getting infected with Omicron. The severity may not be there. They may not be coming into the hospital. But remember, last wave, it was around 4 lakhs a day. This time, if it touches 14 lakhs, you will be seeing a similar number of hospitalizations, the same thing as we witnessed in the last wave. So we have to be proactive. I think the government has already started in the correct direction. And many places, Christmas parties, New Year gatherings have been curtailed. And I think the Allahabad High Court has also given a landmark direction. They have asked whether we can defer the UP polls. But these are things for the government. I think it is a dynamic process. Every day they will be assessing the situation. And as it fans out, I think first it is to protect our society. That's most important. Elections can wait. And maybe a month or two, as the High Court has advised, probably if the surge is very severe, the government might take the decision. But that is up to the government at the top to decide how they want to go about. But there are clear
because right now it seems that we really need to focus on vaccines. We need to, because we're still just 42% have received 2 shots of the vaccine. We really need to get that figure, much, much higher. We were hoping that 60% of the adult population would be vaccinated by the end of this year, but that's not happening, and it needs another push. Vaccine rates have fallen. Dr. Ebenezer, also, if we talk about the second wave, we saw a huge shortage of oxygen. But again, going by examples from other parts of the world, it seems that with this variant, as opposed to Delta, you don't see that drop in oxygen. If you could, tell us a bit about that.
See, the Delta variant was very severe. There were many people who had severe pneumonia. So as a result, a lot of people required oxygen at the same time. So that is where our healthcare services were completely overtaken, and we were not able to capacity build immediately. But now, over the past 6 months, every hospital, for example, in Tamil Nadu, every government hospital, we have oxygen plants now. So we are ready. So this time we will not be taken by surprise. Almost all major private hospitals and district hospitals, even district hospitals, I would like to emphasize, they are having their individual oxygen plants in place. So you will not be seeing the similar amount of oxygen crisis as it was witnessed in the second wave. But again, if it spreads very, very fast, and if at the same time many people come into the hospital, definitely ICU beds, everything will again become a problem. So we have to be careful. And you were making a point about vaccination. I think the last few months we have been aggressive in vaccinating, but I think all of you will agree, probably in the last 1 month the vaccination was not, people are not coming forth. They thought COVID was over and it was going into a very, very flight mode like symptom. But now you see, again with Omicron coming into the picture, we are again speaking at vaccination. But remember, I read 2-3 important statements yesterday by the WHO. No country can boost its way out of this pandemic. Just by providing vaccines, providing by boosters and repeatedly boosting your vaccination strategy, one particular country cannot come out of the pandemic. You have to vaccinate the poorer countries also. Otherwise,
that's absolutely a very, very important point. And Dr. Salonke, you spoke about, how we'll see new variants, and we will see new variants if across the world we don't, provide enough vaccines.
Exactly. See, you cannot see the Pfizer vaccine is not available across the globe. It is only available.
All right, let me ask that question to Dr. Subhash Salunke also. If you could, give your view on this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think vaccination is a very, very critical and important tool as far as fighting the pandemic is concerned. And we know right now 50% of the Indian population, leaving aside the children, is only vaccinated with 2 doses. That means there is a sizable number of people who are either unvaccinated totally or partially vaccinated, exposing ourselves to the risk. Number 3, we are not yet decided about the 3rd dose, whether we call it a booster or 3rd dose or whatever. We are insisting at the central level that please decide very quickly. That is another point.
Right.
But in spite of, suppose even if we agree today that let us start with the booster dose, it won't have materially a difference for next 1 week. So what is critical now from today to the 15th January is ensuring restrictions, 1, to be imposed by ourselves, and 2, to be imposed by the government. See, there are about 15-20% population of our country who are so-called educated.
Right, let me get a final word from Dr. Suranjit as well, and on this whole issue. And if we're talking about the COVID protocol, Dr. Chatterjee, there's also news that the cloth masks that have become so popular that they're not as effective against Omicron. If you could tell us about that.
That's true. There are studies coming through, which means the mask that we use so commonly till the second wave, the cloth mask is not that effective. Unfortunately, see, what happens, the cloth mask anyway, in the other places also, it actually prevented you infecting others rather than you getting protected because of that mask. It was always the other mask, the surgical mask and the N95 which protected you as well. What was happening with the cloth mask is that you were protecting the other person so that you're not transmitting the virus so easily as compared to when you're not wearing a mask. But there are initial studies coming in about this cloth mask thing, that it may not be effective. So we need to be very, very careful. The social distancing, these gatherings, all these things have to go really. If we don't follow this protocol for the next 1 month, and especially with the New Year's coming in and the Christmas coming in, we are going to be in trouble. So let's at least be prepared. It may not really happen, but let's be prepared from now onwards.
Well, we'll hope for that. Thank you so much, doctors, for sparing your time and joining us on the program this morning.